Hello students, today we are going to discuss new topic, an interesting topic of cyber security, module 4 SSL, secure socket layer. In that we are going to see why SSL and certificate exist, encryption, why encryption and how encryption works. So let us start. SSL stand for secure socket layers. Why SSL and certificate exist? So why SSL exists? Because consider your computer on the internet is communicating with different computer on the internet. So you want that whatever communication is going on, that should be encrypted, that should be known to you and receiver only. No one else can see the data, or no one else can see your communication, what messages are there, what public key is there, what private key is there, what credit card information or something like password, this thing. So should be visible to you and receiver only, no one else should be visible. Identification in the sense you are communicating with your friend, whether he is whether he is there or someone else is there, means you need to identify that is your friend or not. It might happen that you are communicating with your friend but your friend is not there, but someone else is saying that I am your friend and he is communicating with you, means your original friend is not there but someone else is telling that I am your friend. So that things may happen on the internet. So that's why encryption and identification. So let us say hiding what is sent from one computer to another, that's not told. Encryption means the communication should be known to the both sender and receiver, no one else should be known. Identification means which you are communicating, whether it is a computer of organization or whether it is a computer of hackers, that should be identified. Encryption and identification. Encryption means sending data from one computer to another by changing the contents, means encrypting plain text to cheaper text. We have seen in the previous videos also, previous module also. Speaking in code is encrypted code, complex code like your password and username, online banking, these things are encrypted because no one else should view your code or may not access your code. That's why they're going in encrypted form. Identification means you have to, how you can trust computer on other end. Yes, it is right. How can you trust that I am communicating with the computer which is the website is of modern college only, whether it is a website of different colleges of hackers, and it might be accessing some information from you, that username and password, bank details. So these things are very important. Identification is also very important. So we will go through both of these. Firstly, we will see encryption. Encryption in the sense sending critical information like bank details, credit card. I am sending information through credit card. This computer is sending credit card information to this computer on the internet. Okay, because I want to check my credit card because I want to do online payment. Now here is something, this computer is sending data to this computer like credit card information. Here someone else is a hacker who is accessing the information, who is trying to access the information. Remember one thing, if this communication is going without SSL, then it may happen that this information can be visible to this computer. Remember one thing, very important, if this computer is communicating with this computer and here no SSL is involved, secure socket layer, then it may happen that this computer may stolen the information or may hack the information which is going from this computer to this computer. Okay, so any computer on the web in your network get details of your computer because it is not SSL certificate is not used. So is SSL used? If here SSL is used, then this computer will see this content as garbage. It will not see the actual information. It will see something encrypted for meaningless code. Okay. So for example, Google email service use username and password which are encrypted. That, and if you submit the page, it shows HTTPS. It indicates if you want to submit form once you press submit button. Okay. Now, if handshake protocol works, SSL stand for secure socket layer handshake protocol, and if SSL works, computer agrees on how to encrypt, server sends certificate, then your computer says start encrypting, the server says start encrypting, and all messages are encrypted when communication is going on with SSL handshake protocol. Now firstly, your computer, how this SSL handshake protocol works, we will see that. Firstly, your computer send hello message to server. The information in hello message contain key exchange method. First, RSA algorithm contains key exchange method and algorithm. Second, that the way the encrypting data between two servers. This is hash method authentication code, which is sent along with the different messages. Integrity algorithm, hash code you might be knowing, we have seen in also previous module also. Hash code means something I want to check at the client side also, and I want to check at the server side also. Means your with your contents a hash code is generated, and that hash code generated at the client side should match with the hash code generated at the server side. So these things are very important when data is encrypted. Once the client send message to server, server send hello message. What client send? When client send hello message, it sends RSA algorithm, then it says encrypted data between two servers. They should follow the same technique of encryption. And the last one is the hash method authentication code that needs to be checked at the both sides. Once the client send message to server, server send hello message which in this key, and that encryption method and hash function informs about server. So client says what can I do, and server says what is I can agree. Okay. Now here server send certificate, encryption, server send certificate. What server send? Server send that IP address, then valid from public key, then subject means which computer and this thing, site, company address. Okay, that thing are sent by the server, and this is nothing but the certificate, means whether the server is valid, location, company name, these are very important. Now client agrees, server sends certificate to client, and the client agrees with the certificate. So your computer says start encrypting. So client send message to the server. Client says message to the server with the encrypted form. That's why client says exchange message and change plain text into cheaper text. That is, we told you encryption, and finish. So now both computer use master secret code for communication, that we have seen the hash code. Now they have encrypt data in same technique. So server says start encrypting and say finish. Start encrypting and says finish. So this is all about the encryption techniques when two computers communicate with each other in the encrypted format, because they want that only sender and receiver should know the information, no one else should access the information. Now next part is identification. So all messages are encrypted. For example, Google login change password, when it is encrypted, that will be garbage to anyone. And the way encryption work, the other reason is the identification work. The computer you are communicating, that one you trust, because you can have SSL certificate. Okay, since server send SSL certificate, that means it will be trusted, and if the certificate is not trusted, then your browser will respond that the site is not secured. Okay, so your browser will trust only the correct certificate and trust incorrect signed certificate. So computer has to give information about in identification, because you are communicating with the different computer which you are not known. So company has to give information about the web server, what company is, where it is located, certificate, authority checks correctness and authenticity of company by going to public records. So certificate creates and sign its, and the algorithm which you are using, algorithm ID. When certificate is valid details of company, subject, public key. So all these things are known to the which server you are communicating, which computer you are communicating. So identification, how you can trust: version number, serial number, algorithm ID, issuer, valid from this date to this date. Validation is also important. Subject, public key, identification, issuer, identification of the company, identifier of for company, signature algorithm, RSA algorithm or which algorithm you are using, MD5 or then serial number, algorithm ID, issuer, company details, subject, public key, algorithm, identification of issuer and identification of company. So in this way, when you are communicating with the server, encryption is important. In encryption, the client send hello message. When client sends hello message, it sends algorithm which you are using, then what encryption techniques they are using, and hash function they are using, which is which code check at the client side and server side. So in that happens with encryption. In case of identification, you need to give details of which server you are connecting, that serial number, algorithm, valid from which date to which date, then subject, public key, identification of issuer and identification for the company location, company name. Okay, this matters a lot in case of identification. So we have seen SSL secure socket layer, why it is used for communication between two computers. First one is security and encryption, and other one was identification. So thank you.